Okay, so welcome back to my channel. We'll be giving you some updates coming in the last hours. IDF Paralyzed. Ben Gurion Airport bombarded once again as Houthi drones rip through Israeli airspace. Now, in this video, I'll be talking about two different topics. Number one is going to be what is happening between Israel and the Houthis. And then I will also give you updates about Syria and Israel, because we now have new breaking news coming from Syria that suggests that perhaps Syria is having enough of Israeli attacks and they might retaliate now. Let's talk about this particular topic first, though, the Houthis and the Israeli situation. But before I move on, just to remind you, most of my viewers are not subscribed. Consider subscribing, because I'm going to be giving you all the exclusive reports and news on this channel about this particular incidents happening right now. Let's talk about the Houthis first. Houthis on June 4th claimed to have carried out a drone attack on Israel's Ben Gurion Airport. Israel-backed Houthis claimed they used Jaffa-type drones and added their goal was achieved. Meanwhile, IDF claimed to have shot down a drone near Israel-Egypt border. And then you have this statement coming from the spokesperson of the Houthis. Take a listen.
In support of the oppressed Palestinian people and their mujahideen, and in rejection of the crime of genocide perpetrated by the Zionist enemy against our brothers in the Gaza Strip, the Yemeni Armed Forces Unmanned Air Force carried out a military operation targeting Lod Airport in the occupied Jaffa region with 2 Jaffa-type drones. The operation successfully achieved its goal, thanks be to God. While the pilgrims to the house of God prepare to stand in Arafat, glorifying and praising God, the blood of their brothers and our brothers in beloved Gaza continues to be shed, without support or relief from the sons of the Islamic Ummah, despite the ability and capacity to stop this massacre, the likes of which the world has never witnessed. Yemen, with the help of God Almighty, continues to fulfill its religious, moral, and humanitarian duty toward the oppressed Palestinian people. All peoples and countries of the Ummah must fulfill this duty and abandon indolence, dependence, inaction, and subservience. May God not bless a nation that abandons its duties, shuns its responsibilities, and surrenders to its enemy, despite its capabilities and potential. Our operations against the criminal Zionist enemy will continue until the aggression against Gaza stops and the sea.
Okay, so here are two things you have to understand from this statement. Number one is he's referring to Hajj, the annual pilgrimage of the Muslims to Mecca. He's using that as a, if you like, catchphrase to really address what is happening, some other big issues happening in the world. In this case, it is the situation of Gaza. The other thing that you'll notice is that Yahya Sari and also Ahmad Maliki al-Houthi, the entire Yemeni forces, they are now stepping up their rhetoric. Means they are now calling out Muslim nations, Arab leaders, for not helping the people of Gaza. And this is something we have not seen in the past. I have said this in my other videos. We are seeing this to be a new phenomenon where Houthis, to me, looks like they are trying to take a leading role in terms of the affairs of the Muslim Ummah. Now, I want you to take a look at this particular report from Syria. Let's talk about Syria and Israel, because this is getting out of control. Syria and Israel, they are having some big problems. So Syria bombards Israel with missiles for first time under al-Shara. An unusual rocket attack from Syrian territory has rattled northern Israel, triggering silence and panic in the Golan Heights. 2 rockets reportedly launched by a newly emerged militant group named after slain Hamas commander Muhammad al-Daif marked the first strike from Syria since Bashar al-Assad's ouster. The group, operating primarily through a Telegram channel, remains unverified. Israel swiftly retaliated with artillery and airstrikes on Syrian regime positions, with explosions reported in Dara and Konaitra. Israel's defense minister hailed Syria's new president responsible, Ahmed al-Shara, and he warned of future consequences, while Damascus denied involvement and condemned the Israeli response, citing human and material losses. Why they are now blaming Ahmed al-Shara for this? Number one is because Israel, Netanyahu, they do not want to see Ahmed al-Shara in position whatsoever, and they will do whatever it takes. Number two is Israel, they want to actually escalate the situation in order to make a point that no matter what happens, we will never let Syria unite under Ahmed al-Shara. This incident, the recent one, where they are saying that these people, the Syrian regime, that's what they call it, regime, attacked Israel with projectiles. Guys, that's a false flag. That's a false flag. Why? Because as we know, Israel, they know that these projectiles that are being fired from Syria cannot come from Ahmed al-Shara regime, if they call it regime, right? The simple reason for that is because if Ahmed al-Shara wants to go on an all-out war, it is possible. It is very much possible, because he can not only just go on an all-out war with Israel, but at the same time, he can get a lot of help from Turkish military. What I'm trying to tell you is this. These weapons, these projectiles, almost like toys, cannot be coming from Syria's government, Ahmed al-Shara. They are coming from maybe people who are pro-Israel, because Israel, we know, they have their troops on the ground in Syria. Maybe their own troops fired rockets at them, and they're saying, oh, this is coming from Ahmed al-Shara regime. But we know Ahmed al-Shara will not fire rockets. He's gonna be firing missiles. That's what he's aiming for. He's not someone like your buddy from the hood. He means business, and he has a lot of money from Arab worlds, especially from Qatar and also Turkey, to help him out with that. So this projectiles, they're false flag for Israel. These are all lame excuses, really, for Israel to attack Syria and destabilize the whole region.
Also, we're just hearing that the Israeli army is shelling Syrian territory with artillery. That's after it said 2 projectiles made impact in the occupied Golan Heights after being launched from Syria. Well, for more on all of this, we have Hamda Salhout joining us live now from the Jordanian capital, Amman. And as we mentioned earlier, she's there because the Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera from reporting not just inside of Israel, but also the occupied West Bank. Now, Hamda, what more are you hearing from where you are?
Well, 2 incidents taking place just in the last hour or so. The first one, a missile launched by the Houthis in Yemen. The Israeli military says that it was successfully intercepted, but this projectile caused sirens to go off in 139 different locations across Israel. The sirens heard all the way from the north to the south, and even in occupied East Jerusalem. Video on social media showing the projectile and the interception in the sky as far as Beit Hanina in Jerusalem. Now, as for the other story that we're talking about here, 2 rockets, the military says, launched from Syrian territory, the first such attack in over a year, since May 2024. And they say it's the first since the fall of Bashar al-Assad's regime. The military says they're now responding with artillery fire, and that both of those rockets fell in open areas without any injuries. But now they're investigating who exactly launched those rockets. But the military says they are going to continue to strike wherever they see threats.
Okay, thanks very much.
Okay, so of course, even Israel itself are not sure where these rockets are coming from. Then why they blame al-Shara for all of this? Well, they blame it because they see Shara is responsible. He is the leader. At the same time, they don't want to see him to be the leader. They want him to go. And Israel, the way they're acting at this moment is as if they are the one who is, who is trying to manage Syria. I mean, they have say in everything, the Druze community and all that. So Israel wants to really come across as a country, fake country, who is running Syria. And then they blame Ahmed al-Shara. To me, it looks so suspicious, to say the least. But the question is, why have Israel and their attacks on Syria surged? Take a listen.
I was a young man then, and I had a particular mindset. So I went to Iraq and worked with various different groups.
But this has not persuaded Israeli leaders, who have continued months-long military operations and airstrikes across Syria. Israeli officials are also claiming that they're trying to protect the Druze minority from the new government. Druze are a religious minority that lives on both sides of the border. However, many Druze leaders have rejected the outreach efforts done by Israel.
تريد إسرائيل أن تستخدم القبائل والطوائف والمذاهب لمصلحتها. تريد تفتيت المنطقة.
Israel even launched what it called a warning shot.
The Druze community is actually Jew, and they are the ones saying that Israel is trying to take advantage of Syrian situation. I mean, come on, Netanyahu. How many times he will lie? I mean, he's saying, I'm protecting Druze community, and the Druze community saying, no, you're not protecting us. You are actually trying to destroy us. But because of Ahmed Ashara, because they believe that somehow this Islamist group will surge, as they are surging right now. In fact, they are the one controlling Syria. And in the future, Israel cannot coexist with this kind of ideology where the Syrian government, led by Ahmed Ashara, they believe that Israel should not exist and that they should be destroyed, and that Jerusalem should fall under the Muslim hands. The ruler should be the Muslim ruler, not a Jew, not a Christian, nobody else. But at the same time, guys, we know that Israelis are panicking. This reporter from Israel, he is saying that rockets, missiles are being rained down on Israel.
Israel is targeted by rocket fire from Syria and Yemen. And yesterday, within minutes, sirens were heard all across the country, including in the Upper Galilee. The incoming ballistic missiles from the Houthis in Yemen have become routine, but these were the first rockets from Syrian territory in over a year. In response, Israeli aircraft struck targets associated with the El Julani regime in southern Syria overnight, and Hamas is playing with fire as the IDF intensifies the fighting in Gaza, and a group of anti-Israeli activists are sailing to Gaza, including Swedish...
These are all false flags to begin with, and number two is they use these false flags, these reporters, pro-Israeli reporters, to justify more genocide, more violence in the region. So who is going to stop Israel from propagating these lies? Unfortunately, nobody. And even what is worse is that the Zionists, they believe in these lies. They believe their government over anybody else, even though they are protesting on a daily basis, but they're far behind from getting any result from Netanyahu government. I don't see that Netanyahu is going to be relenting anytime soon. But that's the unfortunate reality of it all. We'll have to find out more about Syria's action against Israel and the Houthis' action against IDF against Israel in the coming days.